So the borders are open and everybody is excited because everybody wants to get out of here. They want to travel, they have been stifled for over a year plus now, and they just want a little vacation just to, that feeling, you know, that feeling here. You know that feeling. Right, so today I'm going to be talking about the US and the Canadian visas, the documents that you need to gather before you even start your application. Right, I'm hearing people say they want to go here, they want to go there, but they don't have their passports, much less their visas. Right, so if this person is you want to travel to the US, you want to travel to Canada, but you don't have your visas, I'm going to show you the documents you need to gather before you start your application. So come on, get your pens and papers and start jotting down these notes. All right, it's going to be useful for you in your application. See you on the other side. Alright, so I'm just sitting here in my office that I created last week. I started off a new business venture. I'm going to tell you more about that. Alright, so you want to travel to the USA, you want to travel to Canada, you've been locked down for so long and you just want to fly out of here. I don't get me wrong, I feel the same way too. Alright, but there are some documents that you need to gather before you start your application for either your USA visa or the Canadian visa, right? You can't just start your application just like that. There are some things that, some requirements that need to be met before you start your Canadian or your USA visa. Alright, so do you have a valid passport? Your passport must be valid, right? At least 6 months, but who wants to go for their visa when they only have 6 months in it, right? All right, so you must have a valid passport, right? So that's one of the first things you need to know, right? So you need to go and check to see if your passport valid and how many years you have remaining in it. All right. The second thing that you need to know is that whenever you are applying for your visa, whether it be the Canadian or the USA, you need to convince the officer that you are coming back to your home country because of the fact that the immigration officers think that you are going to stay in the country. Because many of us do, right? We go and we love the place and we don't want to come back and we break rules. And that makes it hard for a lot of persons, a lot of innocent persons, right? So your job is to convince the officer that you are coming back to your home country, and for you to do that, you need to prove to them that you have ties to your country, right? Ties could come in the form of assets, your job, your business, your family, okay? So the documents that you need to show for, let's say, your job is a job letter. So you need to obtain a job letter from your place of employment, right? You just have to tell them, I am going to apply for my visa, Canada or USA, and I need a job letter. So they will know the particulars to include in that letter, okay? If it's your business, then you should show them your business registration. And also, if you have a business account, makes it even better. All right, you could show them that you have a house, you could show them that you have land. All right, so these are the things you need to prove to them. If you are married, I mean, you could your husband could write a nice letter stating that my wife wants to apply for her visa and she's coming back, we have a loving relationship. I mean, I've seen people write letters like these, okay? So these are the things that you can do to strengthen your application. So this comes in the form of ties. Now, I know many of us, we are excited and we want to take our entire family, all right? I know of persons who went and they took the entire family and they were successful, but then there are those who did that and they weren't successful. Some people say it depends on the mood of the officer. I'm not really sure about that, okay? So you need to show ties to your country. You can go for your if it's a family, I mean, the family could apply, but I'm not an immigration consultant or anything. This is just my personal opinion, all right? So I'm not here to advise you, okay? I'm just here to give information. that you can get on the internet. You can do your own additional research, and you can also find this out. All right, so you can either go as a family, or you can go, let's say husband and wife go. You don't have to take the children. I don't know how you want to do it, but you have to show them that you have ties. If you want everybody goes, maybe you will have a good jobs, you have money in the bank, things like that. You just have to show them that, hey, I'm just going on a vacation to see how the place is, to travel around, and to take my family somewhere that they have never been before. So yeah, you could try that. Ties to your country is extremely important to convince the officer that you are not staying in their country and you're going to return home after your vacation. Alright? Okay, so the third thing that you need to show them is that you have enough money in your bank account to cover your expenses while you are there in the USA or Canada. Because guess what? You know why they want that? Because they don't want you to go there and work. They don't want you to go there and work illegally, because when you obtain your tourist visa, the purpose of it is to be a tourist. You're not allowed to work. Some people break the rules, they get into trouble. Some people do it and they don't get into trouble. But it's better to be safe than sorry. So you have to convince the officer that you have enough money to cover your expenses, your accommodation, travel, food. They don't want you, even though you have family in the US or Canada, they don't want you to go there and depend on them. Okay, they want to ensure that you have that. So therefore you need to supply them with a letter from your bank. It's not like if you're going to just print out a bank statement. No, the letter must be addressed to the embassy. You go to your bank, you tell them that you're going to apply for your Canadian visa or your USA visa, and they will know exactly what to put in that letter. Alright? Okay. Another thing that you need to do is to, okay, if you are single, let's say you're a single parent, all right, you're a single parent and you want to take your kid, you want to take your child. If you and the father, let's say you don't have custody or whatever, okay, so you need to get a letter from the father or the mother, whoever has the child. You have to get the letter from the other person stating that you are giving this person, this parent, permission to acquire a visa and travel with that child, alright? Okay? Alright, you can't run away from that because they are going to ask you first. One thing that you can just take up the child and go, no, you have to get permission. If you have sole custody, you have a court order, then you just have to show them the court order that I have sole custody of these children, and that's it. That will just cover all of that. All right, you need to show these documents are extremely important. Another important thing is travel history. I'm not saying that if you don't have travel history you will not get your visa, but you know, these are things that will, you know, increase and strengthen your application. So if you have been traveling maybe to England or even through the Caribbean, right, you know, they want to see that you're accustomed traveling. You know, you've been here, you come back, you went there, you come back, you know, they want to see things like that. So these are things that will strengthen. I'm not saying that the travel history is compulsory, because there are people who never traveled before, all right, and there are people who traveled before and they went for the visa and didn't turn out too well, all right. But I'm just giving you tips, things that strengthens your application, all right. So travel history is extremely vital, right? It can add bonus, it's like a bonus point to your application. Okay, so these are the things that are necessary for your application, whether it be in the USA or Canada. The other basic things that you need to upload is where are you going to stay. Yes, where are you going to stay? They want to see the place you're going to stay. So if, for example, you are going to stay by a friend or you're going to stay by family members, you know, you can also get a letter of invitation from these people and stating that they're inviting you to come to the US, to come to Canada, to stay for a little vacation, and you're going to be taking them around, etc, etc, etc. If you are going to a hotel, then you just have to acquire a booking from the hotel and just show them that booking, right? These are things that I did, and this is how my Canada and the USA visa were approved. Okay, now it's time for you to start your application. You need to gather all these documents. Right now everything is done online. I'm not sure if the USA, if their embassy is open to the public yet, right? But I know the Canadian application, everything is done online. You don't have to go for an interview, and that's the best thing about it. All right, I know many people are so nervous about going to the USA embassy because you have to stand up there and face the humiliation if you don't get through. I didn't really like that, because I mean, I was just sitting there and I was just hearing persons saying, the officer was saying, not approved, not approved, not approved. I was like, oh my God, I don't want to go up there. I don't want to go up there. I don't want to go to that guy because he might tell me not approved too. So by the time I was ready to go up, guess what? He was the one to call me. And I went up there and, you know, we had a good conversation and I was successful in my application. And so you can do the same thing too. Just follow the tips that I gave you today and you can be successful in your application. All right, in my next videos I will be doing the USA and the Canadian visa separately, showing you some specific things that you need to do. All right, so I hope that this information was helpful and you will be on your way now to obtain these documents and start your application. All right, so don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, and I'll see you in my next video, and ta-ta.